Previously, I built my own Copilot for Microsoft Excel that basically just copies whatever text you've typed into a cell, grabs it, then sends it off to OpenAI, gets a response back, and just splats it into the cell. So that's one approach to take, but obviously Microsoft has something much more robust, and that is Copilot Pro. So I got my hands on a copy of it by signing up for a subscription. And then this is my first impressions as I work through Copilot Pro for the very first time. All right, so I just signed up for Copilot Pro. I had Excel running before I did this, so I want to show before. You can see there's no Copilot button up in the ribbon anywhere. And if I were to quit Excel and then open it back up, now you can see I've got a Copilot button here. If I click this will open up a little tab. And then the first thing I need to do, for whatever reason, you have to have autosave turned on. So I'll enable that here. I have to save that then in OneDrive. I presume that's how it gets access to the actual spreadsheet contents. I assume that's why you have to do this. I personally would prefer if I didn't have to turn autosave on and didn't have to use OneDrive, but I'll go ahead and do this for now just to proceed with this demo. So I can make a test workbook here, save that. All right, autosave is on, got it. And over on the right here, now I've got some actions that I can invoke. For example, I could add some formula columns or edit and highlight. Don't know what that means. Oh, here you go. I can sort and filter. That's interesting. So first off, why don't we get some test data here? So make me a test table of data. So give me 10 purchase records for a coffee store, something such that I can use it to filter, sort, and sum. Submit that. And we'll just see what comes up with here. So one observation already, this is taking a ton of time just to generate a sample set of data. I assume now it's going out to look at that spreadsheet. It has to load that up, even though there's nothing in it that'll be of help right now. So that's interesting. All right, so it's now come up with an example. And what do we have here? Let's make this a bit bigger. Let me drag this panel over. All right, so certainly below is an example of a simple table structure, blah, blah, blah. So how can I get this over here? Do I have to copy and paste this, or I'd like to have some sort of feature where I could just hit a button, kind of like the thumbs up, thumb down. I like a button here right next to the table that I could hit that would actually just stick that wherever the cursor's at. So like right here, but I copied that, so I'll paste that here. Well, that's interesting. The color copied over from the panel here. So you can't see the actual text, or I presume that's the case. If I were to come here to the color and do something like black, there you go. You can see it now. So one big problem right now is it's literally copying the style of the table. Now, if you want to work around that, if I undo all of that, get rid of that, if I do a paste here, a paste special, I should be able to choose text or Unicode text. And there you go. I don't have to then change the color of it because it doesn't paste the color of white. So come on, Microsoft, fix that one. If you're not going to give me a button to insert the table, well then at least don't format it such that it copies and pastes so that it looks invisible. All right, so let's just presume I am an Excel idiot and I want to change some things about the table. First off, let's just say I want to know what the total price is. So how can I add a column with the total price paid? Actually, instead of how can I add a column, how can I add a total price paid across orders? So basically sum up all of the total price column. So I'll submit that here. I wonder what this book means here. View prompts. Okay, prompts that I could reuse. All right. I can also talk to it. That's interesting. I should try that next, actually. All right, so here we go. Why is it suggesting to sum over B2 to B100? That's the date. That's not the total price. That doesn't help me. And why is there there's actually, and now in this case, there's actually a copy button here that'll copy this formula. Why didn't I have that on the table up here? That's also interesting. All right, so summing things up here. Well, that's not the column that I want, though. Let's see if we can get it to do it for me. Can you modify the formula, work on the total price column in my table? I assume it has access to the context of what's been generated here. That's already a big ding that it doesn't actually know the right column to use. I mean, even off of the table it generated, it should know that that would be G if I inserted it in the column A on the left-hand side. Okay, so what is this? All right, so I don't have a table named table 1. All right, so let's say I don't know how to name the table. How do I name the table? At this point, this is really no better than just using chatgpt.com and copying and pasting. I hope that they're actually going to come up with something that can look at my exact spreadsheet. Otherwise, what's the point of the autosave? Why do I even need that? Okay, so click in the table that I want to name. All right, I can do that. The Table Tools Design tab will appear on the ribbon. But this is not yet a table. I don't see the ribbon. Let's just pretend I'm stupid. Or not don't see the ribbon. We'll just stop that. I need to be fair. I don't see the Table Tools Design tab in the ribbon. Is that correct? Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's not showing up because this is not yet a table. All right, only appears when you have selected a cell within a table. If you don't see the tab, it could be because you're not currently selecting a cell within a table or table that has been properly formatted as such. To ensure you can see it, follow these steps. Click on any cell, go to the Home tab on the ribbon, click on Format as Table. So I'm on the Home tab, Format as Table, all right? Yeah, okay, we'll just do this right here. And yeah, so what do I need to do next? Confirm the range for your table. Make sure that my table has headers. Check boxes checked if I have headers. I do. All right, and then we'll go ahead and confirm that. Once it's created, I should see the tab then. So let's click here. Well, I don't see an actual Table Tools Design tab. I see a Table tab though. Let's just assume that's what it's referring to. So if that's the case, all right, so now let's come back to the previous instructions it gave me. Locate the properties group to name it. I wonder what the name is. Oh, the name is already Table 1. Okay, so if the name is Table 1, then let's just see if its original formula will work here. So let's copy this. This is the sum of the total price. And total price, well, that's what it generated, and that's what it used. I'm just going to paste this in here. Hey, that actually worked. That's great. So it did generate a formula that's relevant. However, it didn't look at my actual Excel worksheet to figure out I didn't have a table. I don't know if it's supposed to. I feel like it should. I guess on the flip side of this, the good news is if you're working with an Excel spreadsheet that you can't provide context to, like if you're working with ChatGPT, it might actually be a good idea to ask it to produce formulas in terms of the name of a table. So create a name table. Don't just work with tables that are not named, because that'll make it easier for the context to be available when you're asking for any LLM to get help when it comes to Excel. All right, so now what can we do here? Let's come down to the bottom and let's look at the prompts that we have here. So we have create prompts, generate a formula column suggestion. Okay. All right, so here it's looking at A1 to G12. All right, it did the right thing there. Here's one formula column to review and insert it in column H. All right, so we could review this. It's going to be the quantity times the unit price. Well, that's accurate. So it actually did look at my table in this case, which is good. Okay, so let's see. Can I insert this? So if it says insert column, can I just click insert column? Will it work? Whoa, it worked. That's cool. And if you notice, I have my cursor over here. I had this cell highlighted, and it still inserted it at the proper spot here to be right after the total price. And so, yeah, this actually helps confirm one thing I was wondering about, which is the total price that it generated when it generated the table way up above here, is that total price correct? And now it's giving me a formula to verify that. So you can see these values line up here between these two columns. So the original generated total price was correct. I'd almost like to see when it generates a table like this, I'd like it to actually just put this formula it gave me into the total price column if that's a computation on top of two other columns, right? So in the first case, it could have actually created this total cost column instead of a hard-coded total price column, but beggars can't be choosers here. Okay, so if it can do that, let's see, can I change a topic? What does that, clear this out? Let's change a topic and see. What? Why is there a change topic button? Would Command K clear this? No. Oh, that's actually bound to making a link. All right, Command N maybe? Nope, that doesn't do it either. So where's the clear button at? Okay, here we go, over here. I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. And did that clear it or did it just close it? Okay, wow, it doesn't remember the size I had, which would be nice if it did. So I'm going to start over, which means that it doesn't have the context of our conversation or the table it generated. So it's going to have to go off of what's in this sheet to be able to do anything. Interesting that it's repeating the let's change topics thing. And did it just not clear the history when I do the change topic? Is that supposed to clear it and it just didn't clear the chat? Maybe that's a bug right now. Okay, let's see if it can help me with something like, yeah, let's see if we can sort or filter. Let's go with sorting here. Let's do sort on total cost, which it just added. Can it understand this prompt alone without me giving any table name information? Apply a custom sort on the total cost table. Okay, so I can just hit the apply button here theoretically, and it's going to sort by total cost. Let's see if it actually does that. Oh my God, did it do it? That's cool. It actually did it. You can see the sort now is on total cost. You can see the sort button. So could I have it do something like sort on total price instead? That's cool, actually. I like this. This is what I was thinking a Copilot should be like. I am glad they're actually making this a tool that can do things to the spreadsheet. And now that makes sense why it needs autosave, because it needs to actually modify the spreadsheet, in this case, to change the sort. All right, so let's see if, what did I ask it to do? Sort on total price instead. All right, sure, looking at H1, here's the change review and apply it. Apply a column sort on total price in table 1. Yes, that looks good. Okay, you can see here, it changed it, it synced the change, and you can see total price is now sorted instead of total cost. Let's do flip the sort. Might be interesting to clear this entire conversation history and do flip the sort and see if it can figure out what the sort is entirely. Doesn't seem to be an issue with flipping sort. Could you please specify? Oh, I want to sort descending instead. Oh, it still doesn't know what I mean by that. So I guess I'm going to have to tell it what I want descending on. Sort. Now, how about I do this? What is the sort on the table currently? Let's see if it can tell me what the sort is in the first place. Maybe I could say flip the sort on table 1 and maybe it'd do it then. The data context does not provide information about the current sort of the table. Okay. All right. So it's not provided as context. And that makes sense. You can't provide everything in the spreadsheet as context, at least not right now. I'm sure with ever increasing context sizes, we'll be able to do that. But for now, no, that's not the case. So if I want to change the sort, I'm probably going to have to sort on product. Let's do that. And let's do descending. So watch over here when I apply this, the product column. All right, here we go. Apply it. There you go. Sorts descending. That's great. All right, maybe one more thing. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'd like to filter. Let's see if we can filter on orders under $2. Yeah, so it's got to figure out what I mean to filter on, which would be the total cost or the total price. And anything under $2 total. Is there anything? Oh, there's nothing under $2 total. That's my bad. Yeah, let's do filter out orders under $4. Okay, so over here you can see the last one here in terms of the sort here. We got $2.50 and $3. And did it do an equal then? We'll see what happens here. I think it should show 8 records when it's done then. Okay, how many got rid of there? Well, that looks like that's more than I intended. Total price, what did it do here? Let's look at what it did. Greater than 4. That makes sense, actually. Okay, so it filtered more because it was doing greater than, not greater than or equal to, which is fine. What I said was rather ambiguous in terms of under 4, right? I said under $4. So technically it should show the $4 when it doesn't. So there's a 350, a 4, a 3, and a 250. So 4 of them are gone when the sort is applied, and there are 6 records left. All right, that's working. Can I have it do something like clear, filter, and sort? Just reset things for me if I don't know how to do that. There's a button over in the data tab, I believe, to do that. Basically asking it to find, oops, what's this? New connectors. I don't care about that. Yeah, there should be a clear button. Oh, I got to click on the table. There's a clear button. That's what I want it to do. I'm going to come back to home though, and I'm going to have it do it. So remove all filters on table 1. All right. Is that going to remove sorting as well? Probably will, actually. All right, that's done now. Did that? Yeah, I got rid of the filters. And in terms of sorting, well, it looks like nothing's sorted either. So it looks like everything's gone now. And we've got back to 10 records, right? Yeah, that's 10. Okay. Let's make it do one more formula. Give me the average unit price. Let's see if it can actually know where to insert it, so I don't have to insert it like I had to do with this one. It should actually know how to apply that one. I analyzed it, and here's what I found. Can I add it? So it produced a pivot table. That's interesting. But I probably should have said add the average unit price. Let's just see if I can be very vague about adding the average unit price to the table. It should put it right here, is what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll put it over here. Well, that will be fine. Let's just see if it can do it. All right, what do we have here? So go ahead and insert this. Where are we going to insert it at? Do I have to pick where to insert it at? Or is it's not actually going to, can I just hit insert? Average unit price, why would that be did it produce the average unit price of each purchase, which would be the same thing as the unit price? Is that what it did? It did. It seems like it did that. Let's go ahead and insert it and just see. Yeah, it actually produced the one thing. I want the overall average unit price. So, well, let's accept that. Actually, no, I don't like that. I'm going to undo that. Actually, I just want the overall average unit price. I don't want it because I already have it per record. Oh, but I wanted it added to the table. Come on, man. Maybe I need to say add it underneath of the table. Is it not returning previous context here? All right, so actually I just want the overall average unit price. Okay, fair enough. I didn't say to add that to the table. Add that to the table too. Well, it just doesn't want to add it. Let's do this. Let's, can I hit the up arrow here? I can't hit the up arrow to copy my previous prompt. That'd be nice. All right, so let's do it this way. Add that to the table below the table, like the sum of total price. All right, so I'm asking it to do the same thing as right here. So it should see this here, and it should then add the average here across all the orders. Okay, so insert one row at row number 10 of the table. I think that's approximately correct. Oh, it put it in the wrong spot. Oh no. It messed that one up, right? It completely botched that one. All right, I'm going to skip that for now. Or should I do it? Maybe I'll try one more time here. We'll just stubbornly work with this in row 11 of the table. See if we can get it to do what it needs to do. It didn't put the right amount in either, but I didn't look at the formula that it tried to insert. So in this case, it doesn't know how to add it below the table as requested. Why not? I don't know, but I guess it's making this available now. Why doesn't it make this like a standout section where I can copy it at least? So this is what it's proposing. I could copy this here. And yes, that's actually correct for the, whoa, that's not the weighted average unit price though. I didn't ask for that though. We're going to undo that. And we're just going to forget about that for now. So, all right, so maybe one more thing. What if I want to format the unit price column as money? Can it make that change to the existing data? I mean, it was able to filter and sort, so let's see. All right, let's read what it's going to do here. First, here are two changes to review and apply. Apply a currency format on the column unit price. That's correct. And auto-fit columns in F2 to F12. Well, I don't need to do that, but that's fine. And that would actually make sense to add the auto-fit in there just in case it overflows the current width and you wouldn't be cussing and swearing at why it doesn't show. Wonder if they could add a sub button where I could just pick one of the suggested actions, or I could do them one at a time. That would be interesting. All right, so overall, this is a good stopping point. I actually do think that this mechanism of asking questions with the context of the sheet, which I'm sure will get better in time, how they provide the sheet in terms of context, I'm sure the ability to make changes will only improve over time. So I like this ability to basically chat with ChatGPT about the spreadsheet and ask it to make changes. And then I love the ability to review what it's suggesting. Of course, what it is suggesting is going to be a small subset of actions that once I can learn how to trust it or not in terms of actions, then it's going to be easy to review what it's proposing and apply the change. Plus, I also get a list of what it's doing. So if I want to learn how to do it, maybe I can pick up the steps as well. So I think I'll stop there for now. This is a long enough video. I will further explore this. I'm sure there's a mechanism to produce pivot tables and do all kinds of other cool things. I'll save that for another video.